My mother-in-law abused my daughter. Legal battle exposed her shady past and stopped her reign of terror forever. I never thought I'd be the kind of person to drag family through a legal battle, but here we are. I'm pressing charges against my mother-in-law for what she did to my daughter, and honestly, I'm still shaking just writing this because it feels surreal that someone so close to us could be capable of something so disgusting. To give some background, my husband, let's call him Jake, and I have been married for about 6 years. We have a beautiful 4-year-old daughter named Lily. Jake's family has always seemed intense. His mom, Diane, has a history of volatile behaviors. She's been through drugs and jail time before they cut her out of the family for a bit. But since Jake and I got married, her behavior seemed to mellow out a lot, at least on the surface. She's a charming woman when she wants to be. Everyone says what a devoted grandmother she is. We gave her chances, gave her the benefit of the doubt, but honestly, I started to get this creeping feeling something was off after the last few visits. The moment that shattered everything was around 2 months ago. We had asked Diane to babysit Lily for a few hours while Jake and I went to a friend's wedding. We knew she could be flaky and temperamental, but figured a few hours wouldn't be a big deal. Lily came home a little quieter than usual, which I didn't think much of at the time, since sometimes she just gets tired or shy. But after a couple days I noticed bruises on her arms and legs, darkish marks. When I asked Lily gently who did that, she was hesitant and evasive, but eventually whispered. It was a jumble of little phrases. You are bad. You'll be taken away. And worst of all, if you tell anyone, I'll hurt Mommy and Daddy too. I felt sick. My husband was furious when I told him, but he said we needed proof before we could act. We took Lily to the pediatrician for a checkup, and after seeing the bruises and talking with the staff, they reported the suspected child abuse to CPS. It was the most excruciating process. CPS got involved, and after interviews with Lily and Diane, they found enough evidence based on Lily's consistent story and the physical marks to open a case. But here's where things really got twisted. Diane started attacking us full force. She called me a liar and a bad mother, threatened to drag our names through the mud, and even sent Jake's workplace photos she'd photoshopped of me partying and using drugs, trying to paint me as unstable. The nerve of this woman. Jake's family took her side at first, convinced she was being framed. The rest of the family spilled into this toxic mess, some even saying we were the ones trying to tear the family apart. The breaking point was when anonymous posts started popping up online, exposing our address and private information, accompanied by harassment and threats. The police traced it back to Diane's burner phone. At this point, Jake finally cut off all contact with his family except me and Lily. The court case was an emotional roller coaster. Diane denied everything, claiming Lily was manipulated by me and Jake to get back at her. But after months of therapy sessions and interviews, the court ruled in our favor. Diane was convicted of child abuse, ordered to stay away from Lily, and sentenced to mandatory counseling and community service. She also lost any custodial or visitation rights. But here's the kicker. Me revenge, if you want to call it that. While the case was ongoing, I hired a private eye to dig into Diane's past. Turns out, during her previous stints in rehab and jail, she was involved in some seriously shady drug dealing, theft, even assault. But the PI uncovered a secret she'd been hiding. Diane had been pimping out other vulnerable women to feed her drug habits, women who later testified anonymously against her during the trial. I gathered all these new accounts, and with consent from the victims, submitted the evidence anonymously to the police. Diane's looking at new charges now. It's like a domino effect of karma hitting full blast. The most beautiful part? Jake's family finally sees Diane for who she really is, how deep her lies run, and the pain she's caused us all. We've rebuilt our family on trust and love, away from the toxic mess. Lily is thriving, surrounded by real love and safety. I never imagined I'd be the person to break a family apart, but protecting my daughter and myself was worth every steep climb. And for anyone wondering, no regrets. Some monsters, no matter how related or charming, need to be stopped. So yeah, am I the asshole for pressing charges against my mother-in-law for what she did to my daughter? No,